I've been getting a lot of questions about when is the Wayback going to be on Patreon, and I'm excited to announce it is finally here. Plus bonus content. Right now, for just $5, you get the Honeydew a day early, you get it ad-free, and you get a full bonus episode of the Honeydew with Y'all where listeners highlight their lowlights, and it's going to stay that way. $5. And for just $3 more, you're also going to get the Wayback a day early and ad-free, but that's not all. You'll get exclusive bonus content with the guests, some fun segments, maybe some games, and we'd love to get you guys involved, and that's all for only $3 more. And there's no censorship on any of the Patreon episodes. Subscribe now. Tempe, Arizona. I'll see y'all December 20th and 21st at the Tempe Improv. Get your tickets on my website to all shows at ryansickler.com.
Hey, baby, we're going to be here all day. We're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party.
Welcome back to the Wayback, everybody. Ryan Sickler here, ryansickler.com, and Ryan Sickler on all your social media. I want to start this episode like I start them all by saying thank you. Thank you for supporting anything that I do, whatever it is. I don't care. Shirt, ticket, this pod, sharing it with your friends, whatever. Thank you. I love doing my job, and it's because of you guys. And come see me. Come see me at a live show. If I'm in your town when you're around, all tickets for my shows are on my website at ryansickler.com. Now, I'm very excited to introduce our guest here in the Wayback today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ryan Long. Welcome to the Wayback, Ryan Long.
Great to be back in the new studio. Looking great.
You're nice. You complimented it when you came in. You were like, this looks really cool. Thank you very much.
Love it.
Please, before we get into your stories, promote it all, brother.
Yeah, check it out. I got a new special that is out. Ryan Long, Problem Solved. YouTube.com/Ryan Long Comedy. Please check it out. It's been out for a week. It's doing really good. Positive feedback. My podcast is the Boyscast. In the next few weeks, if you want to come out, I'm going to be in Las Vegas, Minneapolis, Edmonton, Phoenix, Portland, Tacoma, and more. But yeah, mainly check out the special. YouTube.com/Ryan Long Comedy.
Where'd you shoot it?
Calgary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It was kind of a hassle to get a crew out to, Calgary. Obviously it's easier to shoot at some other places, but it's a good club. The guy, sometimes you message the people, you're like, we want to shoot a special here. And it's kind of like, okay, whereas opposed to this guy was pumped about it.
Yeah.
Cool guy. So yeah, it turned out really well. I did 4 shows.
Good for you. Go check out his special. All right. So this show, The Wayback, I was explaining to you, this is from like birth to high school. We talk about, the old fun days, high school, all that stuff. And you rolled up. We're just going to jump around. You rolled up and straight up Reebok Pumps. Lift those things up. Look at
camera.
These. Kirsten, how old are you again? 20 what, 6? 26. Do you know about Reebok Pumps?
That's too much of a throwback, eh?
I don't know about the pump specifically. No.
Wait, there used to be commercials. It was a big deal, and they would get down and pump your shoes and shit.
Oh, these were game changer when they came out.
And then it became...
Those are the ones I have, the orange ones. That's the same ones I have, but I got the light trim.
I want to say it was White Men Can't Jump too, where it became a slam. If you were wearing these, dudes would get down, they would, clown you and pump them for you.
Yeah. That was part of you dunking a guy and come pump him up.
Yeah.
I got these.
Oh yeah, Dominique Wilkins.
I have never had more compliments from black dudes since I bought these shoes.
I'll bet.
I'll tell you what. You want to know something
There
crazy?
they are. Look, Dominique, man.
I got so many compliments that I bought a second pair.
Princess doesn't like the shoes.
I was a hit at the Comedy Cellar with these.
I'll bet, dude. This is 83's that commercial. So I'm 10. You're not even born. Are you born 83?
Pumps were around when I was born 85. But pumps
okay.
were around when I was, a kid.
I had Patrick Ewing Adidas. Check these out. Oh, there they are, right there. Top. Yep.
Those are nice.
Yeah, no.
Though I've seen those making a comeback. You know what was the huge shoe when I was growing up? I guess Air Force Ones took over, but before that, it was the Iversons. So there was a moment where every person, and then actually Nike Shocks came out right after that. And then me and my buddies, we were probably in grade 10, there was a flea market and you could go and these guys would have defective shoes, right? And then you'd buy the defective shoes and then you could send them back for new shoes. So we had shoes going to every one of our friends' houses, right?
Okay.
And then one time me we started selling these shoes that we used to get defective. And then we found one of my friend's older gangster brothers wanted to buy the shoes. And then we sold them these shoes and they ended up being different sizes.
No.
And then the word just came in and we did rock, paper, scissors for who had to go back. And one guy had to go back to this guy's house.
Sorry, here's the die. 11, man.
gave him his money back. He gave him the... Yeah. Is this how you dressed when, like, is that the kind of shoes you wore growing up?
Like this and some like fake jam shorts because my mom wouldn't get us real jam. She's, we had McDonald's at home. My mom made Joanne fabric.
Yeah. Iversons was the shoe though for a while. Yeah. There was the Iverson 3 and the Iverson 4. Those shoes took that one. That shoe took over, and then that one underneath. There's that one first. And then there was the one after that is the one, the blue right down. Then that one. Everyone had that in the zipper. And then you leave the zipper undone. That shoe took over my high school.
This is Canada, right?
This is Toronto. Yeah.
Toronto, okay.
Took over right outside.
So if you go back to my day, and because we didn't have Targets or anything like that, like now Tony Hawk is in Target and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Back we had to shop it. So look up Kmart and then McGregor, MCG.
These are the new Conor McGregors?
No, hell. He should line up with these motherfuckers. That's a great idea.
So these were hot?
No, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, I was going to say.
If you had to wear these.
I could see hipsters trying to make those come back.
You were getting your ass kicked. Like, it was a long day.
That's the Kmart brand?
That's all.
You a sneakerhead? Do you have a sneaker collection?
No, I mean, I like Adidas. If there's a cool pair, I'll get it, but I don't have a collection. I didn't come from that kind of, like, I didn't have parents.
I love that you think it's the guys. Shoes. I love how you think that being a sneakerhead is generally like a rich guy thing.
With money. It is now.
I guess once you're old, I think it's more of a middle class thing, maybe a suburbs thing. But I'll tell you what, the guys that I knew that were collecting sneakers, it wasn't the rich kids. This is.
See, we were just, you wear that fucking pair until the wheels fall off. You know what I mean? It didn't get to be a popular. I would say the Jordan started that for real. Like once Michael Jordan dropped the shoe, that's when everybody all of a sudden started going, man, I want that shoe. Then Run DMC with the shell toes, and people are like, I want that. And I think that was like really the birth. Oh, there, look at that top left. The Olympia high tees right here. Let me tell you something. If you wore those, you were definitely going home that day with blood on those fucking things, and it wasn't somebody else's. Okay. This is what we were wearing before Jordans. You know what I mean? Before somebody dropped the shoe.
They changed the game, and they're like, we're shoe guys
and
now.
Then Converse had the Larry Birds and the Magic Johnsons. Do you know about those?
Yeah, the Converse never was able to stick in the game, though. They ended up just always going back to the Chuck Taylors, right?
Yep. And then you had Jordan every year with a new shoe, and then you had Ewings. We had so that's when it became exciting. Everybody was trying something different because it's like, oh my God, we're finally out of the Chuck Taylor Olympia era.
Basketball players wouldn't make them stick. I remember there was the Tracy McGrady's, and they were the crappiest shoe you ever seen.
A lot of them are shit.
You don't want to show up with the McGrady's.
All right, so let's talk about you growing up in Canada. You're in Toronto, so you
right outside of Toronto.
Are you a city? All right, so you're in the suburbs.
Probably like half hour outside of Toronto, a place called Ajax, Ontario.
Okay, and what are your summers
Pickering
like?
Village. There was probably majority of my life was exclusively skateboarding, and then it switched immediately to now my life's exclusively trying to be in a band.
Okay,
there was just a flip. Summers.
Do you have a neighborhood where like you got a bunch of kids your age you can hang out with? Or
American suburbs, I feel like are a little different. Canadian suburbs is the cliche skateboarding, going to the mall, getting kicked out. That is that's
it.
Yeah, that is the whole thing.
Okay.
You go to the mall, get kicked out of the mall. You go to the skate park. Then there's the places where you can get cheap pizza. You got a spot. Then you've got a little scam going on, and then back home. But everything for a good portion of my life, probably everything revolved around skateboarding until it switched to now it all revolved around trying to be in a band.
And what year, like, is that high school?
Yes. So probably I would say where I grew up, and this would probably, so it's after you, it was sort of skateboarding was sort of like more of a rock and rock music thing. The guys that were kind of into like punk. And then there was the hip hop. I'd say around grade 8 for me, hip hop took over skateboarding. And then there was a very big like divide where people either became, and that's when Eminem was coming out, 50 Cent. So Eminem rocked my high school, where within a week, every single person looked like Eminem, looked like 50 Cent.
Oh, they all look like him?
Oh, yeah. Just every single guy had like
dyeing hair and shit too.
Baby blue wristbands that match the baby blue shoes, you know, the headbands, the do-rags, just everything. So,
do-rag?
Oh, yeah.
I've never been confident enough to wear a do-rag.
White guy do-rag was probably still 10-15% of the do-rags.
I'm just going to say, like, look. It just looks like that dude's bad news. You know what I'm saying? I see a white dude, I see that guy, and I'm like, man, this isn't going to go well. You know what I mean? Anytime.
There's 100% white dudes rocking do-rags. And you put with the bandana around it, doing the Nelly.
Oh, yeah, over there. I forgot about that.
But it was more of an Eminem look, where every white dude had the shaved head,
he is down there.
Blonde.
Yeah. Interesting.
That look was
the cap over the thing.
This right here is what my high school looked like. After that,
he had a lot of the cap with the over the do-rag up here, this top left over
yes,
here.
Well, the only thing they're missing is the baby blue headband. Also,
oh
yeah, it's
a lot of headwear. You know what I mean?
Do-rag, baby blue headband. This is probably 1920. This is when we were.
But wait, hold on. Is that your real hair or is that a wig? Your hair, you had hair like that?
I had a big hairdo.
I mean, you got good hair. I can see you got one side shaved, but you got hair in there.
Yeah, so
wait, go back and see that again.
See, we kind of more, but you can tell we all had like a little hip hop influence.
And that's real hair on the guy in the middle too?
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a wig. You got to say that.
Me and those two dudes lived in the most insane house in Toronto where we had all 2 out of 3 of our main windows were busted in and glass was just everywhere. And then dude, girls would like come over and just their feet bleeding everywhere. Like, what is this? And then that household, the cops busted in. This is when we were like 20. The cops busted in the house, came into our rooms with the like guns with lasers on them.
Shit.
And they were like, get on the floor.
What are they looking for?
Our neighbor. It turned out. Dude, legitimately, there's girls there crying, bring us all out, put us there, you know, tear the place limb from limb. And legitimately, the cop was coming out being like, all right. And he goes, so this is 5 abs. We're like, this is 6 abs. And he's like, John, we got the wrong house. So they literally were looking for the neighbor because the 2 houses were attached.
I would have been like, yeah, well, we thought he might be over here. You know, I would have made some shit up. All right, yeah, well, we're going to 5 next. We thought he was in 6.
Yeah. When they tore the place to shreds.
Never said we got the.
This guy ended up, I'm pretty sure, going to jail, but that house was a mess.
Wait, is this I was about to say, is this a Halloween or are you guys in a band here? What's going on here?
This is like probably during college, peak like we're in band guys. Like that's all our entire identity. That's
are you
all
in individual bands or are you all in a band?
Me and that guy on the left in the green hat are in a band.
And what was your instrument?
Drums.
Okay, what's he?
Guitar.
All right, what's this dude?
That's our boy. We lived with him.
He wasn't in another band though?
Those are like my 2 closest friends.
Okay.
Still boys with those guys,
good.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What was your
He
first?
works a real job.
He doesn't.
He runs a cool company now.
What was your first musical instrument?
Piano against my will.
But was that something like in school or your
when
mom
I was
or
growing
dad
up,
made you do that?
There was 2 things in this family you were gonna do. You're gonna practice piano and you're gonna play hockey.
It had to be piano, not just an instrument.
No. You had to play piano. So before you could eat, it was 30 minutes of piano and then 30 minutes of hockey shots in the basement.
I mean, that's pretty fucking badass. A little bit of culture and a little bit of ass whooping. I like it.
Hockey was the main thing where it was like me and my 2 brothers were both being groomed to be in the NHL. It didn't take. But
were you? Oh, your parents were that serious about it?
I would have liked it. Didn't work out that way. But
how far did you get?
I played like double A,
college?
which is the.
Oh, you did? You played minor league?
No, double A. Like I guess this is Canadian terms. So that's me, top right, with the blonde hair.
You still got that Eminem going, huh? Couldn't get it out. Couldn't dye it back. That's you there?
Yeah, that's me there.
And what are you wearing? You guys win something?
I guess
around
we
your
won
neck?
something.
I guess. Wait, it says midget tournament. You can't even say that. That's how, look, 23 years ago, this shit was called a midget tournament.
I forgot about all these guys. Yeah.
You can't even say that.
That guy's a school, well, I won't point them, but one of the guys I know, he's a school teacher right now.
What did you win there? Like the championship thing there?
Yeah, I guess we won the championship.
And were you a travel team or are you just like local rec and stuff?
No, so you play, you probably play 2 games a week, 1 home, 1 away, one or 2 practices a week. So like 3 times a week. And then you travel, like there's teams in your division. So it's like, you know, teams that are an hour away, probably 3 hours furthest. So a lot of that, then, you know, 2 times a year, there'd probably be like a tournament. There'd be somewhere like Montreal or something.
And were you
like
good?
That. Played a few American, like Buffalo.
You were good.
I was all right, yeah.
Double A. So what's double A?
I was pretty good
Canada?
until I probably didn't care that much. So double A would be
like college players.
So it would be house league is like what everyone plays, and then there's select, and then A, double A, triple A is the highest. But triple A in our thing, only 7 people are on triple A because it was joint with another town. So in our town, 7 people are on the triple A, and then
but triple A, and then you're going to like AHL after that.
Then after that, you can either go to college, you could play, the equivalent of minor leagues. Yeah.
Oh wow, you fucking did good, dude.
Yeah. No, I was all right. I wasn't great.
So you were skating.
I wasn't too like
playing
I
hockey.
didn't give too much of a shit about hockey. Probably past 13.
Are you good at piano now?
No.
You never stuck with it. You never stuck with it. You just here you are.
I'm pretty medium at piano.
What are you holding here?
And what am I holding there?
It's like 4 popsicles.
Popsicles.
Oh, Freezy Pops. Yeah.
See, those catwalks. That was the houses. So those were, you take everyone would,
this
you get
path back
candles,
here?
right? So you get candles and then you'd turn every curb into wax, right?
Ah. And then you just grinding off
Just
of them?
grinding off everything until you get kicked out.
Oh, that's not even your house.
That wasn't my house. No, that was our neighborhood though. And then right behind there was a huge hill.
What instrument did you first choose then? You said
drums
piano
is
was
the
your first.
instrument that I was good at.
And you said you
but
still
this is
play.
all when I'm young. Like I was forced to play piano when I'm, 7.
So like,
and I probably started playing drums when I'm grade, 3, 4.
okay.
So pretty
My
young
daughter's
still.
doing music now. It's
What do you got her
4th
playing?
grade. So I told her she can pick whatever she wants. I'm not gonna force her.
Mhm.
You know what she picked? Fucking trombone, dude.
On her own accord?
She's like, it looks fun and it sounds funny in the cartoons and the shows. I'm like,
It's a random
I
instrument.
said, wait till you pick it up. And now it's like, it's heavy. And I'm like, nope, I haven't carried that case once. I haven't touched it once. I made a deal with her. I'm like, it's your cross to bear.
Yeah.
You're carrying it. We were walking to school the other morning. She's like, it's getting heavy. I go, switch arms. So I ain't fucking touching it. Her brother, I tried to warn her. I was like, your brother did the same shit. Your brother picked, because it's kids, bigger is better. He picked a cello. And we were like,
Hassle.
you're fucking, and he hated it. This
Well, they
motherfucker's
used to-
wheeling it down the street and shit.
They used to have a
He hated it.
saying that people would say, they go, there's 2 things you don't want your kid to be, a drummer or a goalie.
Well, in the States, at least, they start you with the recorder. Did they start you guys up there in Canada with the
We
recorder?
probably had to play that, but I'd probably been playing before that.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure you did, because I feel like that's like second,
I was forced
third
against my
grade.
will before then, but
Yeah.
probably 4th grade, the fake recorder, which isn't a real instrument, by the way.
Is that right? What do you mean? It's fake?
Yeah.
It's just some man-made flute with some holes in it or something?
I
how's it
think how recorders work. I think recorders work
It's
sort
hurting
of
my
like.
head right now. I played songs on
Well,
that.
I'll tell
mic.
you why. This is what I think. So you know how harmonicas are
Yes.
made in like a key,
Mhm.
where a real harmonica you could play the wrong notes, but on the right harmonica you can't play. AI doesn't like
AI
that.
disagrees.
It's a serious instrument of the richest.
AI is mad. It's a serious song.
I'm pretty sure that you can. It's like they're made with a scale. So, like the harmonica, you can't play the wrong note, right? So, I'm pretty sure with a
I
harmonica,
see. I see
it's
what
like,
you
look, that's not like scales have eight notes, right?
Mhm.
They only have 7 things because it's all in a key already. So, a harmonica, if you buy a recorder, it'll be like, okay, this recorder's in the thing of C sharp. So, if someone's playing piano and you go, you're only allowed to hit these 8 notes, and any of those 8 note works, like that's not playing an instrument.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like-
yeah.
So, an instrument, you can hit a wrong note.
Clarinet. I picked the clarinet for some reason. I tried that for a hot second. I did the trumpet for a
I played
second.
trumpet for a second.
And I really did want to do drums. Shit just got away from the family after my
Drums is a
parents
hassle.
divorced and we could never get drums.
Yeah.
But then I'll tell you, so we'll talk about high school bands because we had a friend and this dude wanted to form a band. So instead of sticking to my guns and be like, no, I just want to also learn guitar. He got guitar, I got bass. I can't remember who had drums, My brother decides he's going to do keyboards. I'm like, you're not going to. Nobody wants the keyboard player,
that's
dude.
not
Even
hot
we're
instrument.
in the 80s
I
right
mean,
now.
that being said, we're talking about trombones
You still
and
don't
clarinets, but
keyboard, the Casio keyboard with the sampler.
oh sure.
So we had the early one where it was like
You're rocking out.
ding, ding, ding. It had these little songs with it and stuff, and you could do drum samples and stuff like that. So we would get that, and he'd get all fired up. But there's blood on this thing. Look at this, that blood.
No, that's great.
Oh, kicked out of school. What are you getting kicked out of school for?
Well, I got kicked out of residence at university, but the one thing that I was thinking that was pretty funny was, so like I said, if in the suburbs of Canada, it is 100% you're causing trouble until you leave, that's kind of the vibe of it. But
and what do you do?
The one thing that was making me laugh, I was actually talking about this recently, when this is probably grade 9. And it was with that guy that was in the photo. We had a French class, and probably the best prank we did, we put a porno movie in the VCR. So the teacher comes, and because we replaced her movie, she puts the porno in, French teacher, right? But then she took off and left, and then basically me and that guy decided one of us was going to pretend to be retarded. And then the teacher that was substituting, she ended up staying for a month and a half. So I had to slowly.
Nuh-uh.
It's like, this is what happened. She goes, and it was apparently related to
You slowly got untarded.
Yeah. Literally, I remember the name. Yeah. We had a name and everything, Sammy.
All right, I don't want you to get in trouble. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the tardiest, how tardy were
Pretty
you?
aggressive out of the gate.
And then you had to bring it down to a 0.
It's like by day 4, it was just like, still not on back, huh? Dude, French classes are exclusively for terrorizing. That guy Jarek had a thing.
Did the lady ever call you out? Did she ever say anything? Like,
no, she was Russian,
slobbering
didn't
on
really know
yourself?
what was going on. Substitute teacher, didn't really want to be there, but it was just like,
oh man,
slowly dialed it
that
back.
is absurd.
It was crazy. We were talking about that the other day. I was just like, that's the funniest thing that happened.
Oh, there's some teacher out there, some ladies telling that story about you. Like, this guy started off all fucked up.
I'm so good at teaching. I
don't know. French cured him.
yeah. French is a cure.
Probably telling like her nieces and nephews that might be on the spectrum. You should take French.
French is the cure.
Oh, that's too good.
But we never it was all getting suspended and stuff like that, but no like proper expulsions.
But if
it's all minor stuff,
But that's fine. That's the way we were too. But if you're a skater and shit like that, you're getting into trouble. So what are you guys into back then? Are you into
there was
setting fires?
When videos came out, that changed my life, where I was like, oh, I'm this now. Tom Green and Jackass were big, and I was so into that stuff. So we were huge into filming all the pranks. I remember, I guess we used to have to bring them back, and then you hook the thing up to the TV in a basement, and you can watch it. I remember the first one we ever did. I remember, and I've never been able to find this videotape, but the first thing we ever did was the busiest road in the city doing a 100-point turn. See if you can do the 100-point turn. We have it on video. Just both directions, like rush hour, people flipping out. And the goal was to get to 100 points.
How many did you get?
No, we did it. We pulled off the 100-point turn.
How long did it take? It's got to take 5 minutes.
No, because you go 1, 2, probably 2 minutes.
Dude. We used to do this one.
You go 2 seconds of 2 seconds of pop.
Though. That's good. Because you got to sit there with people yelling and fucking blaying horns. You got to be sitting there doing it. We used to do one. I had our station wagon growing up. We had a Dodge Aspen wagon, and my buddy Eric Snyder had a Caprice Classic wagon. Mm-hmm. And we would just be bored, and we'd go through town, and we would just ride side by side. And not fucking just see how long we could get behind us with people going nuts, passing on double yellow lines.
And then if someone tries to pass, you keep up with them?
We knew we'd be worried about killing them, but yeah, it's one of these. And we would just side and people. We would do that, or the other thing we would do is we'd go to a busy intersection if we were the front car. And right when the light turned green, we put the hazards on and pop the hood. And we just go out to the hood. And we get under the hood. We'd be laughing and looking through the hood crack through to see how many
car pranks were huge, dude.
Here's another one. This is the most dangerous one
That's the
ever.
car I had, though, yeah.
Okay, wait, the wagon you had?
No, not the wagon,
Okay,
but the
all right,
Caprice
yeah.
Classic. Mine was more like, there we go. 94 Caprice Classic on the left down. That's what I had. Yeah, something like that. Probably mine was a little older even. Mine might have been more of like an 88 or something like that. It was an old car. But the windshield wipers broke.
Oh, dude,
So I used to have a
fun.
half of a hockey stick that you put a towel on. Yeah,
Oh,
I remember
the
driving through a
towels on.
blizzard and my girlfriend at the time just freaking out. Right, he's like, pull over. I go, I'm honestly good. Or down
That
the left
probably
arm.
worked really good, though.
Yeah, you got the left arm out the fucking window in a Canadian snowstorm.
Oh, man. This wagon we used to have, I don't know what it was about the window washer, but the squirter thing, it would go over the car. It would hit the car behind
yeah.
you. You know what I mean? So
You could send a message to a guy.
We turned it one time and we went through McDonald's and my brother's sitting there talking and I just fucking reached over and hit that shit. It's hitting this girl in the chest and shit. I was like, that's a good one. I forgot about that, dude. I forgot about that. This is the most dangerous one. So we used to do this shit all the time. It still makes me laugh. I think about doing it all the time, but it could kill somebody. So when you're sitting and you're waiting to make a left turn and you got to yield to oncoming traffic, we used to do this one all the time where you got to put my mic down. You got to dip your shoulder and we would just take our hands loosely over the wheel. Like if it was a 50-50, you knew you were, you know what I mean? Like, and you start going, you'd be like, shit, like this son of a bitch is coming. It used to make me like, you had to sell it. You got to dip that shoulder and just slide your hand around like this. We used to do that one. And my other one, because you had the Caprice Classic, like for sure, we used to see people.
Had 3 seats in the front.
Yeah. You see people hauling ass. And I don't know about Canada, but at least here, if you flash your headlights, right? It's
people
a little
think
heads
it's a
up.
cop.
Oh, dude.
Dark enough, it looks like a cop. Put the high beams on, people get real
I still
scared.
do it. If I'm out on a country road and there's somebody that's hauling ass by me, I just flash them.
Oh, if you pop the high
I
beams
just
on
flash them
people.
and they fucking lock them up. They're throwing a thumbs up. There's nothing there. It just makes me they keep trying. Like, where is that motherfucker? We used to lock, like, you'd see a car dip down, like, they'd be like, thank you so much. Like,
you could
slow down.
someone out with that bad boy. That was a beast too. If people tried to, they used to make the.
There you go.
You're only missing the siren. I'll tell you the other big hack of this, the Caprice Classic, which was huge back in the day. So you know how they have, it was when they had, I don't know if all of them have them here, but the toll roads, they take a picture of your license plate and send it to you, right? Well, this is, you put the gas in the license plate. So you flip the license plate down in order to put the gas in. So when you're going on the toll road, you just flip your license. It's a pretty honest mistake, right? So it's like, this car is making you money. Because if any cop ever pulls you over and you're like, your license plate's down, that's the most honest mistake in the world.
So
right?
your cop cars look like that up there too? A lot of them are Caprice and
They
shit
did,
like
yeah.
that. American
I don't know if they
cars.
still do. At the time, though, this was the model.
Yeah. Did you go to any camps?
Hockey camp.
Where was that?
2 hours outside of the city, 300 kids. You play hockey twice a day, and then you have to do all this stuff. I used to have to go to that every summer.
And it's for how long? Sleepover camp.
1 week, yeah. And it was like,
fun as shit. That sounds no, really.
Well, it's a lot.
I feel like the kids would make it fun. Are they coming from everywhere?
There's some fun times there, and I had my one buddy that was there, but it was pretty grueling. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like when you think of like a camp with your buddies, this was 2 hours of hockey, then 2 hours of, intense physical training, and then you play your hockey, and then you play like a ball hockey game after. It was like that was then there was like night volleyball. But I just remember that there was this one counselor, like they were all hockey players that didn't make it kind of thing. There's one guy, he was probably like 400 pounds, and he used to, so whenever they were switching teams when you're playing ball hockey, he used to go, subs! I need subs! And he's the fucking fattest guy in history demanding subs. And he used to and he'd go, how was that funny? And I was like, how is it not funny? This 400-pound guy screaming for subs nonstop.
Yeah. How about
that? Wasn't my favorite. That was also probably because it switches when you're, get into 13, 14. Now you have your normal friends, I have my friends. We're into doing stuff. I'm trying to be in a band. I don't want to go to hockey camp against my will.
Okay. It was against your will because you were that into the band at that point.
I think that when you're 10, it's fine. When you're 13, you're like, all right, enough of this shit.
What about, you're a music guy, what about concerts? You go to any live music in high school? Sneak out? Do you ever have to sneak out to see shows, or were you allowed to go? Or
there was
would your parents take
There
you,
was
or?
only one place that had concerts, and it was probably like 40 minutes away from my house. So
Oh,
I
really?
went to one or two, probably went to Warped Tour a couple times, stuff
Oh,
like
yeah, that's
that.
a
But in
good
my
one.
area, there was like, you know, kind of little underground stuff. And then when we started playing, we'd always go to Toronto, right? So Toronto and then Oshawa, which is, we'd be in between there. And then we, you know, load all the people in a van. When we were in grade 11, we organized this little tour where we went to like Buffalo and then a few places. So just like, you know, a bunch of kids sleeping in a van. But I was actually thinking, I remember when you go to, as a person that was like suburbs right outside of Toronto, when you go into Toronto, I remember being like grade 10 and our other band friends that were in Toronto bands. I remember thinking that like these kids are like 30-year-olds. Like city kids are just so much older than like everyone else.
Yep, seasoned.
Yeah, these kids are like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
seen
Like
some
doing their
shit.
taxes. We're like 20.
Exactly.
I remember like specifically our other band friends just being like, oh, these guys are like adults, like, you know, having a glass of whiskey kind of guy. And you're just like, what the? So I remember, I do remember, driving into the city and just thinking the city kids were like, you know, dating a girl that was in the city for a bit. And like, oh, this is like a grown woman and we are children. City people just grow, all the taking the subway.
What was your band's name?
We had a band called the Johnstones.
Why?
There was a guy in the band named Kevin Johnstone.
And he was like, I founded this
Well,
shit.
no, his mom used to always bust into our band practices and be like, he has to come home. So then we started, and the joke was that she thinks it's her band. So we started calling it the Johnstones. And
I
then
see.
the band continued without him, which is, I guess, the funny part.
He got fired.
we went to different colleges, kept the band going.
Was he cool with keeping the name?
No, probably didn't love it, but Big got pretty popular. He didn't love it. I think I saw him once after he came to a show once. I always think it's funny to remember back to those, like, you know, when you're 16, just the amount that everything's so important. Because I remember one of the guys in the band was going to go to a different college and just having that conversation of like, we have something special here, man. Like, you're going to tear this apart. You crazy?
Yeah, for your future.
You're throwing money in the garbage, dude. Are you crazy?
Were you making money at it?
We did pretty good. I've been
Yeah.
living for a while, but this isn't not when I was in grade 11. This is like after college.
I see, okay.
After college, we had a couple songs that were on like the MTV Countdown, and we
Oh,
had
yeah?
like 4 or 5 albums that kind of went
The
popular.
Johnstones did?
Then yeah, toured.
Oh, good for
Till
you,
I was
dude.
about 25. I was from finishing college to about 25, 26. I was touring nonstop.
Right here?
This is us at like the MTV Awards.
Are these
in
the
Canada.
Johnstones?
Yeah, that's the boy. See, that's the middle guy. Was the guy from before.
So walk us left to right. Who's who? And their instrument.
That was the drums on the left.
Is that you?
No, on the far left is drums. I was a singer. I played drums, but I sang in this
Oh, you
band at this
did?
point. Then I kind of did half and half, and then we got a drummer.
Okay.
Bass, guitar, keyboard, and then far right's guitar.
And that's your real hair there
this-
again.
Yeah.
Some good head of hair,
that's
bro.
that's honestly pretty low compared to
How
where it
long
was.
did it take you
That's
to
pretty
grow that?
tame compared. I had there is points where it was. Do you know Mark Gagnon? You kind of look like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
a
yeah,
little
I
bit.
do know who
It's
that
kind
is.
of in that territory.
That's Ultimate Warrior type hair right there too, a little bit. It's up there. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It looks like you had to take care of it.
And you
It's a lot
don't
of
die
work,
there, right? You're
really.
living on the road, right? So it just used to get dreadlocks. I used to get these like just massive dreadlocks, and then you just cut them out.
Just literally just
Well, you can't get out. It's like out of control, right? So you get like, you just have like little pieces that were shorter because they dreaded so bad that you couldn't get them out and you just cut it. Yeah. But the band, when I think of the like young days, it's, you know what? Probably the majority of when I think of being like high school was like fun, but the parts that when I think about like the old times is, to me, it's probably those era from like, 16 to 25 where you were like, with the boys in the band van traveling around. To me, that seems like a defining period kind of.
Ryan Long, this was a fun episode, man. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, yeah.
dude.
Yeah. Always great hanging out with you, brother.
Please promote everything you'd like again right there. Your special.
Yeah, please
all
check
of
out
it.
the special, youtube.com/Ryan Long Comedy. I think you guys will like it. And my podcast is the Boyscast. And then if you want to catch me on tour, I'm going to Las Vegas, Minneapolis, Edmonton, Phoenix, Portland, Tacoma, Los Angeles, Irvine, San Jose, and then more.
Good for you, dude.
RyanLongComedy.com for tickets.
There it is. And check out his special as well. Come see me on the road. If you're around when I'm in your town, tickets are available at ryansickler.com. And again, thank you guys for your support. We'll talk to you all next week.